Can I come in your kitchen, baby, and cook all night long with you?
It's Saturday night. You are here live with me. My name is Christina, and you, my friends, are here on the main, here for another incredible, in my opinion, live stream of cooking. Thank you so much. We try and cook live as many Saturday nights as we can manage right here on YouTube so that you can actually recreate all of these recipes in your kitchen in real time. It's that easy. All you need are the ingredients. We post them on Instagram at Here on the Main the week before, and I'm gonna put after the live stream timestamps below so that you can skip ahead to any step in the recipe that you need. Tonight we are making an incredibly creamy butternut squash pasta. And the thing that I find really cool about this recipe is, first of all, I've been making this recipe for probably the better part of 5 or 6 years. It's one I keep coming back to, and it's super impressive, and it's so easy. You don't need very many ingredients. One of the things we're doing a little bit differently tonight is I've always cooked this recipe with 35% heavy cream. But a couple weeks ago, I tried it with cashew cream and I loved it. It was so good. I've got a recipe for how to make cashew cream on this channel. And trust me, if I can do it and be on board with the cashew cream thing, so can you. I am taking your comments. If you want to know something about how things are going here, there's something happening in your kitchen that you need help with, let me know in the comments. This is informal. I want this to be fun. I've got my glass of wine poured. We've got the Sauvignon Blanc going. This should be fun. If you're not having fun, this is the first ingredient. Let's get there first. We are gonna do a few things tonight. I want you to start by preheating your oven. Mine is preheated to 450 degrees. And like I always tell you guys, my oven is not as hot as probably your oven is at home. I know, I need a new oven. So I've got it up at 450. You could probably survive at 425. All we're gonna do with the oven is roast this butternut squash. So get your oven on, get it up to, if you find that you have a really hot oven, get it in and around 425. If your oven's not so hot like mine, get it to 450. I've got a baking sheet prepped with some parchment paper because we are going to bake this butternut squash to get it nice and tender so that when it goes into the sauce, some of those pieces break apart and it gets all creamy. So delicious. I've got a cup of cashew cream here. Actually, what it is a third of cup of cashew cream with 2/3 a cup of water that I watered down, because what happens with cashew cream or cashew milk of any sort is it actually thickens when it heats up. So when we've got this over the stove and we're bringing our sauce together, if this is too thick at any point, I'm just gonna add water and thin it out. So very easy. I've got a third of a cup of, a half a cup of vegetable broth here. And I've got about a third of a cup of grated parmigiano reggiano. Like always, guys, make sure, please, that you're using the good stuff. There's a ton of flavor in here, and it's completely different than anything you get shelf stable. We're not using that, nor will we ever use that. I'm sorry if I offend people. You also need a large shallot, or 2 small. Just get enough shallot to make about a half a cup, a third of a cup. Really, the proportions here are all to your taste. So as long as you've got a decent sized shallot, you're gonna be good. Ron is asking if I prefer to bake on convection or regular. Now, Ron, here's a fun fact. I don't have convection. Certainly not yet. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I live in a condo, there's things happening. But if you have convection, I would say yes, use your convection. I'm gonna tell you the visual cues you're gonna be looking for on this butternut squash. And once your butternut squash is done roasting, if it's done a little bit ahead of us, that's okay. It's gonna hold on the side. So if you have convection, I would use it because, hey, why not? Go for it. Alyssa says she's so excited for another dinner. Hilliers are super pumped. You guys, thank you. Thank you for being here. We are going to start by grabbing your butternut squash because we're going to need about half of this guy. Did I even finish going through the ingredients? Oh, olive oil or butter. You're going to need that, and some parsley. Oh, and pasta, of course, pasta. I'm using a long noodle. I think that works best. Trying a new kind of local brand tonight. We'll see how this goes. I'm really excited about it. And it's the al bronzo. It's an imported pasta, which is what I always tell you guys to look for. That's a very important step because when you're cooking these types of pastas, there's not a lot of ingredients. The ones that you're using need to be spectacular, or else your end product is not going to be spectacular. You see how that works? It's pretty easy. You're gonna need a vegetable peeler. I think I forgot to mention that to you guys in the equipment. So grab your vegetable peeler, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the neck portion of the butternut squash, and we're gonna aim for about 2 cups. Now, if you don't have, or if you have more than that, that's fine. This is really, and I'm gonna start peeling this now. This is a really adaptable recipe, like I said, to any proportions that you have. My recommendation is you get a vegetable peeler that is nice and sharp. If you have a not great vegetable peeler, it really hinders your ability to get tasks like this done quickly and efficiently, which is then going to get in the way of making these types of things on the regular. So I'm just peeling this butternut squash, all of the peel right off the top, because I'm only going to use this portion right now, and if I peel the whole thing, then it's just going to be exposed in the fridge, and we just don't need to do that right now. So I'm going to get rid of this peel, and I'll show you how we're going to chop this up. You know what I think that noise is? My neighbor is obsessed with his leaf blower, and he incessantly blows these leaves all over the place because he has a whole rock thing in his backyard. Honestly, it doesn't look like very much fun at all. He does not look happy doing this. So I apologize if you hear what I believe to be his leaf blower. Have we confirmed? Is it a leaf blower? It's a leaf blower. Yes, leaf blower for the win. I'm gonna hack the end of this off right here. And you know what's really funny about that actually? Why are you blowing leaves in the spring? It should be mush. There should be nothing to blow. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. I'm not judging. Don't get at me. This I'm just going to wrap up. And you know what I love to do with extra butternut squash, because I do love to make this pasta, is I will even roast. You could roast the rest of this if you want tonight. Throw this into a frittata tomorrow, which is just like an Italian omelet that you don't flip. You just kind of put it in with your eggs, and it's fantastic. I'm going to stand this up on the flat end so that it gives me a nice stable base to work on. If you've cooked with us before live, you know I've got a wet paper towel underneath my cutting board. That makes sure nothing slides around. And I'm going to start chopping this into medium-sized chunks. We don't want 1 inch. We don't even necessarily want 1/2 inch. We want, and see, look at this. Look at this. How big do we want these chunks, guys? Probably, yeah, closer to 1/2 inch. Go to 1/2 inch because we want these to cook in relatively short order because we don't want to be here all night. And I'm just going to cut planks of this butternut squash. Again, don't worry too much about like, oh my gosh, they're not even, they're not. We want them to cook at all the same time, but if you're having trouble getting them super even, just get them into chunks, get them on the tray. Everything will be fine. This is not a fine dining restaurant, although you may be able to fool a few people with the taste of this pasta, especially, like I said, if you're using good ingredients. So I'm just using the flat side of the squash as my friend, and I am cutting these into about 1/2 inch planks, and I'm going to slice them the other way into cubes as well. So here we go. Let me know if you guys have a drink going tonight, what kind of noodle you're using for your pasta. And I like to do these kind of a few at a time. Here we go into these beautiful little cubes. Look at that. See, they're about 1/2 inch cubes. Some are a little bit funny like this one. That's perfectly okay. I slice this down the middle just to get it to the size I need and run my knife right through it. This is one of my favorite pastas to make because I usually almost always have the ingredients on hand. and it's very adaptable. So this recipe can be made vegan extremely easily, especially with this cashew cream. If you're using regular cream tonight, awesome. So, so good. I love this. I've loved this recipe for years with regular cream. It was just only recently I tried the cashew cream. And honestly, I did the cashew cream last time with roasted cashews, and guys, it was a game changer. It was delicious, absolutely delicious, which makes sense because, I mean, anytime you roast anything, and we talk about this on the show, anytime you add brown color to something, you're usually adding flavor. So, just getting these all chopped up. Alyssa's using a linguine noodle, and she is drinking a white wine. Nice choice. Okay, almost done here. My oven is just about preheated. My oven even takes a while to preheat. Like, I don't know what it is with this oven. Guys, let me know if you actually like your oven. Do you like your stove? Do you like your oven? Let me know what you have, because I am, I would say I'm actively in the market. I'm definitely gonna have too much butternut squash here, so I'll measure it out to show you exactly how much that I am gonna use. But I am gonna roast all of it, because again, I'll save it for tomorrow for a frittata. Okay, almost done. Maria's saying hello, hello. Let me know if you guys are cooking, if you're just watching. If you've never cooked with us before, we cook live on Saturday nights, and we are a cooking show based out of Ottawa, Canada, and it is, oh, there's that oven. It's fun. It's fun because I like to show you guys the tips and tricks along the way of how to get things tasting like a restaurant, how to get them tasting as good as possible in your kitchen at home, so that you don't always have to go out to eat and rely on a restaurant to give you these flavors. Because, I mean, that gets expensive. And I really believe good food should be for every day. So I am adding this butternut squash to a sheet pan, again, with parchment paper. Now, the parchment paper is technically optional because you can cook these right on the sheet tray. The reason I don't is because I like to minimize my cleanup. If you are like me, grab parchment paper. Where's my olive oil? Right here. I'm just going to do a small drizzle of olive oil. About a tablespoon, a little bit less. Hello, Julia. You're using fettuccine. Fettuccine. Delicious. I love that noodle. That's pretty much what I have here too, is a fettuccine noodle. I love that. A spaghetti, a spaghettini. I'm just massaging this butternut squash. I want each and every piece to just be shiny and beautiful, coated with that olive oil. Because when this goes in the oven, it's going to roast. And we want to take this to about 90% of the way cooked. And I'm just flattening it out to give every piece its little spot on the pan. And that is going to be perfect. I'm going to season it with salt, and I'm going to season it properly as I would, you know, if I was just eating this alone. You have to remember, this salt that we put on here right now is going to end up in the sauce. So when we're building these flavors, you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm doing, this is a good 1/4 teaspoon on this butternut squash. I'm going to wash these hands right here and then pop that in the oven. And we're going to let it roast for probably about 15 minutes, but we're going to keep an eye on it, and I will show you exactly what we're looking for, or I'll tell you what we're looking for so that you can keep an eye on your butternut squash as well, because in all likelihood, this might take a little bit longer in my oven than in yours. Hopefully that's not the case. I have a fail-proof way to get there if I need to, and that's to fire the broiler on, which I sometimes do have to do. Alyssa says that we are obsessed with our oven. It is full gas. Nothing better than real flame. Yes, I don't have that option, so thank you for rubbing it in so much. Thanks for coming out. Any other suggestions? Anyone? Please, please. I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes. just so that I don't forget about this. That would not be good if the cooking show forgot about the butternut squash. Awful. The next thing I want you guys to prep is the huge, our good old go-to. I've got a big pot right here filled with water. This is gonna be to boil our pasta. I haven't salted it yet. You know we always do that together because I like you guys to have a perfectly salted pasta water. So I'm gonna take this, just pop it on the stove. I'm not gonna turn it on just yet. We don't need to get there just yet. But we are gonna get that going very, very soon. What I am building my sauce in tonight is my trusty saucepan right here, a couple inches deep, the widest one I have. Cooking your pasta in a sauce like that, or sorry, in a pan like this, is going to allow the moisture to evaporate quickly when we're doing things like sauteing, and it's easy to toss everything and coat it in that sauce when we're done, because as you guys know, we always bring our pasta together in the pan with the sauce. This is how the pros are doing it. This is how they do it in Italy, the motherland of pasta. So that's how we're going to do it right here tonight. So first thing we want to do is I'm going to make sure you guys are good. Bryden says he has a Samsung and he is not a fan. Okay. I have a GE, but it's a baseline GE. Like it's not one of the higher end ones, and it just came with the place. I mean, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see if somebody has a really good recommendation. I'm gonna slice off the end of this shallot, and I'm gonna use the whole thing because really, I mean, the more shallot, the better in this, I think. I'm gonna slice right down the middle. If you look, we don't have a lot of flavor building components in this sauce right now. It really is this shallot that's gonna shine for us. It's going to be the parmigiano reggiano. We have, of course, our vegetable stock and our butternut squash. So really, there's only a handful of ingredients. The parsley is gonna work wonders at the end because it's gonna bring that freshness, especially when you're doing a cream sauce. It just elevates the whole thing, makes it really come alive. So I'm going to slice this shallot. Now, this is really up to your preference. If you wanted to just run your knife through into little half moons, by all means, you can do that. I like to do them a little bit finer just because I actually like, I do like to really cook this down so that it gets super, super tender, this shallot. And a shallot gives us a really nice flavor, a cross between a garlic and an onion. Perfect. I'm going right down to the nub there. Let me get rid of this in my nice little compost bowl. Stunning. Look at that. So Krista says, I added the cashew cream. So Krista, if you have right now a cashew cream that's about an equal mix of cashews and water, and it's very, very thick, you want to take 1/3 of that cashew cream and mix it with 2/3 of a cup of water, and you'll end up with exactly what I have right here. This is 1/3 of my thick, creamy cashew cream mixed with water. If you have a thinner kind of a cashew milk already, then leave it as is. Also, really, this, when I say this is so easy and you guys are going to use your intuition, when you're cooking, if you add that cashew cream or your cashew milk to the sauce and you find, oh my gosh, this is thickening up like crazy, add water. Just add water, because again, when you cook this nut milk, we'll call it, tell me, guys, I have my favorite things that I like to call these nut milks and things. Tell me if you have any in the comments. Maybe I'll share my favorite. Maybe not. This is a family show. But it really does thicken up as it cooks. So, and that's like a science thing. It's the molecules grow in size and take up more space. So the liquid that they are taking up space in gets thicker by default. That's why cashew cream is such a good stand-in for regular cream, because it thickens the same as regular cream does. Actually, it thickens a lot faster than regular cream does. Look at this, guys. This is a good 1/2 cup of shallot, third of a cup. Like it's half of the difference between half a cup and a third of a cup is honestly a joke. Don't even worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna leave this on my cutting board because we are gonna head to the stove very, very shortly. Ron says, how long does the cashew cream last? I actually find it only lasts about a week, Ron. Best thing to do is to put it in the freezer into ice cube trays if you want it to last longer. I find myself adding it to cereals. Believe it or not, I actually added it to my coffee. I really wanted to test the, I'm just gonna preheat my pan while I'm talking. I'm preheating it to number 6. Not quite a medium high, but I do want to, we want to get the heat up, as you know, get the heat up so that we can knock it back a little bit. But I wanted to really test the breadth of this cashew cream, and I was putting in my cereals. I was with my granola. If you guys haven't made my homemade granola, I'll link it up below for the rerun. But I'll do that cashew cream with my homemade granola and some frozen fruit that kind of let their juices out. It's so delicious. And it worked. It was so, so good. I did put it in my coffee, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really didn't think I would. I'm a purist when it comes to some things, and I don't want funny things in my coffee, but I did it for you guys in the name of the experiment, and it was phenomenal. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Here on the Main. We are a cooking show that cooks live on YouTube, showing you guys step by step how to make things happen in your kitchen. You can pop this on and do everything in real time as long as you have the ingredients, which I am gonna post in the box below. So that's how you can do everything we're doing here. We are making a butternut squash, a creamy butternut squash pasta, and I'm super pumped about this. I've got the oven is rocking right now with our butternut squash in there. I have our pan on medium high, number 6, because we're going to saute these shallots. And I've also got a pot of water on the stove that I am now going to preheat to high so that I can bring the heat up and under that. You guys know each and every week we have a rock solid live stream. Not anybody, I don't know if you guys know this, when you are live streaming, you need to have a certain quality of internet you're working with. And for us, 100% of the time that is tech savvy. They never let us down. Thank you so much, tech savvy. They are, I always tell you guys, they fight for the little guy. What I mean by that is big tech drives up the rates in Canada so that we actually pay the highest rates for internet in the world. Tech Savvy is continuously lobbying the government to break that monopoly and force them to lower the rates. They are the only ones doing that. So if you haven't called Tech Savvy yet, I'm sure you guys will, because I know that you don't like to pay too much for internet like me. And we are just about ready to head to the stove. We're going to do that in 2 seconds. I think we're good on my wine. Make sure we got it. Are we good on the camera? We can go to the stove? Is that good? All right, let's do it, my friends. My favorite part about going to the stove always is that means we are picking up the pace and lots of fun is about to happen. You know, we always have to rock over at the cutting board first. I've got the heat coming up under this pan. We have the water. You can see little bubbles in there. That means it is coming to a boil. I have my rock salt here so we can season our pasta water. Make sure your salt is close at hand. I'm gonna bring you guys over. How is everyone? Let me know where you're watching from tonight. If it's your first time cooking with us, if you are a veteran, I know we have lots of veterans. I've got the heat coming up under here. I'm gonna check on this butternut squash because, like I said, I don't have a lot of faith all the time in my oven, but it looks good. I can see the moisture is starting to release. We have a good situation happening in the oven. I'm gonna make sure I'm up as hot. See, my oven temperature dropped. I tend to reset the oven so that the temperature comes up, and that's just what I had to do. But again, if you guys have a great oven, you don't have to do that. I am gonna start getting my olive oil in the pan, and we grab my trusty flat edge wooden spoon. You grab whatever you want, whatever helps you stir. Olive oil into the pan. If you're using butter, now's the time to get 2 tablespoons of butter into the pan, or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 turns of the pan, right in. And I'm gonna knock the heat back to number 4 because, like I said, I just like to get it up there so that we can get this rocking right away. All of your shallots go into the pan. And these shallots, we want them to release all of their beautiful flavor. Come and see this. Already the smell. I'm gonna knock back this heat because it's doing its job really nicely. The pan is holding heat. I'm coming back a little bit more to number 2. You guys monitor the heat in your pan. Watch what's happening. Watch what's going on. Follow the key indicators. We don't want the shallot to brown. We just want it to release its flavor into this oil to form a beautiful, flavorful base. Now, we are going to take this just to the edge of getting color. If it gets a little bit of color, that's okay. Nothing bad will happen. If it does, take it off the heat. Let your pan cool down. We want these to get almost a little bit jammy. So we're going to keep them on low. We're going to rock with them here. Bryden says he is joining from Graham Lake. How are you all on lakes and things? This is stunning. Alyssa is starting to smell that butternut squash. Well, you're one step ahead of me. I only smell shallots, and this, I mean, like I said, that butternut squash, this oven, God, where are those? Come on, I do need these suggestions for a new oven. It's got to happen. David keeps sending me ovens. Do you like this one? Do you like that one? I'm like, will they let me try it first? Do you think they would if I said, do you mind if I come over and try it? Can I? I'll just pop in, cook a few things, throw some things in the oven. I like to see how long. I find one of the marks of a good oven is how long it takes to preheat. If it really comes up to temperature quickly, chances are it's a hot oven. And as you guys know, I like to cook with a lot of heat. So come and see this. This is what's happening in the pan. There's no color, but everything looks translucent and right where I need it to be. Just stunning. I am going to shut this heat off because I really don't want this to go any further without my butternut squash. And this is going to cook more once we add the butternut squash. So once you've got this nice translucent color, I maybe have 1 or 2 baby pieces that are going a teensy bit brown. That's okay. I just want to take this to that nice stage where you're smelling the shallot. It smells kind of garlicky, kind of oniony. It's just at that beautiful, beautiful spot right there. As long as your shallots are looking like this, you will be golden. This is pumping out the heat over here too, eh? That's why I never wear sleeves. It's too hot. I can't. It's too much. I'm going to bring my other ingredients over here as well. 1/3 of a cup of parmigiano reggiano, 1/2 of a cup of this vegetable stock. Now, if you are using chicken stock, that's great. If you're using veg stock, that's perfect. Whatever you have. This is a stock that I made the other day. And I want to encourage you guys, when you have leftover veg, you can actually turn it into a stock. So what I had was a fennel bulb with some fronds on top. And those fronds, that green part that you never really see anybody eating or using, are actually usable. I put all of those fronds into a pot with some bay leaf, some garlic, and some onion. And I filled the whole pot up with water and turned it into a broth. So this vegetable stock actually smells like fennel. It's very, very nice. It's, you know, you can really take anything. You can do that with onions. You can do that with really any vegetable, celery, carrots, anything you have. Mushrooms are really nice if you throw a mushroom into the stock. Now I smell the butternut squash. Let me see, because my timer's about to go off. This is good. We finally have heat on this oven. Can you believe it? We finally have heat. See, if you guys are checking on your butternut squash, test it with a fork. If a fork goes all the way through, pull it out. If you're getting some color on it and it looks about 80-90% done, pull it out and set it aside. I need you guys, again, because my oven lets me down, I need you guys to pay attention in your kitchen, which is what I always encourage you guys to do. And if you think that butternut squash is done, you're getting a little bit of color and that fork is going all the way through, pull it out. It's done. And see, I've just been leaving this shallot, and you'll see it still continued to cook a little bit. I have just a tinge, like almost just a suggestion of browning on this pan. I'll get it over here so you can see in an even better, cleaner light. This is what you want to see on your shallot. This is perfection. All this oil in the bottom, that is flavorful shallot oil. If I were to pour that off and pour that on bread, you would make somebody cry, quite literally. It's just that delicious. So this, oh my God, this is phenomenal. Let me know where you guys are at with your butternut squash. Are you there? How is it going? In the meantime, I'm going to prep my pasta. So like I said, it's a new pasta I'm trying tonight. Hope it doesn't let me down. We'll see how it goes, from a local brand, Etel Foods. It is cut with the bronze dye. You always want to look for that. I'll show you guys. This is what it'll say right here. Bronze extruded. You want to look for something bronze extruded, and you want to look for a product of Italy. Also, what I'm noticing about this particular pasta as well is this little note here, non-GMO. Obviously, you guys know GMOs are all over the place. Really nice. That's always a nice added bonus. So I'll show you, again, just because we have some time, really the difference with an al bronzo pasta. If you take a close-up look at this, you will see the outside of the pasta is actually roughed up. Now, the reason this is a big deal is because when this gets pushed through that actual bronze dye cutter, it roughs up the outside of the pasta, which not only allows the pasta to release more starch into the pasta water, which allows us to make a better sauce, but it helps the pasta grip onto the sauce better as well. So these are the qualities you want to look for in a really nice pasta. I'm going to cook, I'll grab a little bowl. I want to cook about 250 grams of pasta. There's 500 grams in this bag, so I'm going to cook about half. And so I'll just prep that here. A couple of nests. A little extra, never hurt anybody. Just beautiful. And I want to cook these to 1 minute less than the package says. And you'll see my package here says 9 to 10 minutes, so I'm going to cook it for 8. So we're good with that. This is on standby. Let me know, guys, how's your butternut squash? Perfect. Ron's squash is done. Of course, you have that convection, baby. Yes, that's what I need. Come on. Set that squash aside. I'm going to check on mine. Maybe it won't let me down. Perhaps. I'm not optimistic, but we'll see. Okay, we're almost there. I'm almost there on my squash. Hang tight with me. I'll be there with you in a second. Because what we're going to do is we are going to add that butternut squash into this pan with our cream, and we're going to break up some of those pieces with a spoon. I mean, is anything better? Is anything better? I've got this coming up because, guys, this is going to come together really quickly. My heat is almost up here, so I am going to season my pasta water. Please do it with me. I know you guys know what I'm going to say. We season our pasta water so it is salty like the sea. But what in the heck does that even mean? Wait, the Hilliers are done too? Guys, okay, Hilliers. Remember when your bread caught on fire? That was a nice hot oven. Tell me, you need to tell me right now what you have, because I'm jealous. Okay, come on, let's season this pasta water while I wait for the Hilliers to tell me what oven they have so that I can copy them. I'm adding 1 big spoon, 2 big spoons of, this is what I'm seasoning with. This is a sea salt, a rock sea salt. I buy this super cheap, just a box of it. It's just salt from the sea that's been dried out. That's it. So you want it salty like the sea? Use seawater or sea salt. Now we're looking for a distinct saltiness on the tongue and dryness after. That's the best way I can think of to describe how to season pasta water. Now, very important, you need to blow on this because it's very hot and we don't need to burn our taste buds. Where's the Hilliers? Frigidaire Gallery Series. Perfect for John to cook craft dinner. Oh, I like me some craft dinner. You know what I bought today, actually? For the first time, this isn't salty enough. I'm adding another big spoon. That's 3 big spoons if you're counting, guys. So you should be at least, if you're using a finer grain of salt, you'll probably need a lot less. But my big fat grains, and I'm dissolving it. You gotta dissolve that salt. If you taste it and you haven't dissolved all the salt, how are you gonna know how salty it is? This is small pro tips. Okay, so, oh yeah, what I bought today, Annie's. I bought Annie's mac and cheese. I heard it's really good. Okay, that is perfectly salty and delicious. That's gonna stay there like that. Now, I'm gonna venture to guess my butternut squash is probably done because it was nearly done when I checked on it. I'll let you guys see right here what I'm working with. Oh yeah, this is just beautiful. It'll continue to cook a little bit in the sauce. So I'm just gonna leave this here while I bring everything back up to temp. I'll turn this off. It's all gonna come together very quickly now, guys. Get the heat back up and under your pan. I'm going to number 5. I want you to get your cream, your salt, and that's pretty much it. While we're waiting for this to come up, let's just chop up that parsley. Because the parsley is our shining star at the very, very end. So I'm just using a small handful. This is even a little bit too much. Small handful of parsley. If you really like parsley, go for it. Use too much. Who cares? I am using the stems. Again, I don't discriminate against stems. Do you? I won't judge if you do, but I'm giving this a nice medium chop. The parsley just brings everything to life in this recipe. I love it. I love a good amount of parsley in here. I'm going to stir some into the pasta and I'm going to reserve a little bit for topping. Oh yes. I'm excited. It's almost dinner, guys. Like, it's that easy. Okay, we're up. I have sizzling. If you've got sizzling in your pan, I want you guys to get your butternut squash into the pan. I'm gonna use about 2 cups right here. Come on over. I'm gonna use about 2 cups of the butternut squash right in. As much as you like, really. That can live in there for now. And also, add your stock. This stock, oh yes, look at that. So now we've got stock and butternut squash in the pan. This is the beginning of our sauce. I've got my water coming up to a boil, perfect timing. I'm gonna drop my pasta, set my timer for 8 minutes. You know what that means. The sauce is gonna be done in 8 minutes. What's that rogue little butternut squash? Get in there. You'll notice I haven't seasoned this with salt because some salt from the butternut squash went on into this pasta and I don't know where I'm at yet, so I don't want to go too crazy. Now, use your spoon and break up some of this butternut squash because it's going to deliver creaminess into the sauce. Julia says Annie's is the best craft dinner. Okay, well, I'm going to report back probably next week. Bryden's still with me on the waiting game, right, Bryden? See? I don't know. Okay. I'm doing just a little bit of mashing here. Any residual cooking, remember I cooked this, my personal butternut squash, I cooked to 90%. Give it a few little crushes there. I'm going to separate my nests. Oh, I forgot to set my timer. Oh no. I'll set it for 1 minute less than 8. We're at 7. And I want this to be simmering. Keep this sauce at a simmer. I'm on number 4 right now because I need it to, I don't want it to completely evaporate. So I need to keep this at a good little simmer. You put it at whatever temperature you need to be at to have that simmering happen. Look at this. Oh yes, this pasta is cooking up beautifully already. Experiment could pay off. Sip your wine. This is relax time, guys. As you know, once we add this cream, we're gonna be firing all cylinders. Okay. Now, do not sleep on this sauce. I know it's very simple. It doesn't seem like there's a lot going on, but trust me on this. I know this is gonna need salt. I know that for 100% fact. I'm just holding off. I'm holding off. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if it does. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not even gonna salt it yet. Try it, guys. Try your sauce. It should be starting to come together. 6 minutes on the pasta. If you want to drain your pasta, you can. I just make sure you reserve a little bit of pasta water. I prefer to use tongs and just carry it from one pot over to the other because I do want some of that pasta water, some of that liquid gold to come with it. And that is the key to any pasta you're having in a good annotation restaurant, is they're adding pasta water to it. And I've got this just rocking right here. It's just simmering away. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I'm almost ready to add my cream. I want it to reduce just a little bit. You can see here, I'm getting a nice color change. Down below, I've probably reduced to about 1/3 cup of liquid. And that's gonna be perfect for me to add the cream to. I just don't want to add it too soon because it doesn't need a lot of time. If you're working with heavy cream, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and add that now. I've got 5 minutes left on the cooking time. When you're around 5 minutes, go for it. Add your heavy cream and start to have it on a low simmer. I'm going to wait just another minute for my cashew cream. We're going to bring this all together. I might actually refresh my wine while we have time. That sounds like a good idea, right? But every time I do that, you show my fridge, and my fridge is very embarrassing because it's so jam-packed. So I'm gonna, you're not allowed to show my fridge this time. I'm just gonna sneak in there. It is better than last week. My fridge is much better than last week. Gosh, how are you guys? We are making creamy butternut squash pasta. If there's anything you want to see us make, I had a request for a restaurant-style pad thai. So we are gonna do one of those coming up. I gotta get my sister here to recipe test. Tell her, she's cooking tonight. Tell her you want her here to recipe test pad thai with me. And we wanna do it so that you don't need all these crazy ingredients. I know everybody wants an authentic pad thai, but when I was living in Sudbury, I couldn't find a lot of authentic ingredients. So we wanna do one that really tastes great, very takeout style, but that doesn't need all those crazy ingredients. So, well, I love the crazy ingredients, you know what I mean. I'm adding my cashew cream now. If you haven't added your cream, add your cream now. If you had, good, keep stirring. You'll see here this beautiful color. Everything looks phenomenal. I'm gonna bring the heat up so that I get it back to a simmer. And I'm gonna give it just a little try so that I can see where we're at with salt. Remember, when this pasta goes in here, it's gonna carry some of the salt with it, and we still have to add our parmigiano reggiano. But I am undersalted right now. I'm going to add just a little sprinkle, get that in there. And you're gonna see how this cashew cream is going to thicken right up. So bring them here because it's gonna happen right before their very eyes. The cashew cream. Look at this, guys. The second we get a little bubble under here, it's just gonna thicken. If you're cooking with regular cream, you want to, you're gonna need to actually reduce the cream so that you get the same thickness, but just get that done and you'll be there. Get your heat up and under, get a little simmer happening. You can already see, look, we're already getting creamy. When you pull your spoon back, you should see the bottom of the pan. If you don't, just let it cook. You will. Beautiful. Right now, all of these flavors are getting to know each other. We have 2 minutes left on the pasta. I want it to cook for 1 minute in the sauce. Oh, heck yes. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. That smells good. I can even, you know what, guys, I might have a new favorite pasta. Even the smell, I can smell the pasta, and that's rare. Okay. Beautiful. Look at this. I have creamy, creamy, creamy happening. There's one more try, because again, if you wait till the end of the dish to try it, you've missed the opportunity to season. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to turn this down because with 2 minutes left, I'm going to get this pasta, cooked pasta, into the sauce as soon as it is time. And then we're going to let it all finish cooking. My 1 minute timer just went. Alyssa says I'm so down to and ready to test pad thai. Guys, I actually got a takeout. I told her we should order a takeout pad thai and try and recreate what we're tasting, because I mean, as controversial as it is, a lot of those places put ketchup in their pad thai, which is so not traditional and is very sacrilegious, but might be what we need to do to get there. Oh yes, okay. Nice and creamy. If you are too thick, I want you guys to see my texture here. This is quite creamy. When I pull the spoon back, it takes about 4 to 5 seconds to rush back into the middle. If you're too thick, add water. If you're too thin, let it simmer until you have a desired consistency. And remember, it will thicken up once you get this pasta in there. There's my timer. Turn off my pasta water, and you guys know the drill. Pasta in. It's going to bring a little bit of pasta water with it. That's perfectly okay. If you're draining it, just reserve a little bit of pasta water and add about a tablespoon to your sauce. Oh yeah. And right after this, we're going to add our cheese. Beautiful. Okay, I got all my pasta. I'll put that on. Get this in. Start mixing. Beautiful. Look at that. I'm going to switch to my tongs, and I'm going to add my cheese. Get that 1/3 of a cup parmigiano reggiano in there. Look at this, guys. I've got this on very, very low. Cook this for just 30 seconds all together to bring it all together. Give it one little taste for seasoning. Just find some sauce at the bottom. Oh my gosh. This is a sin. This is a goddamn sin. Okay. I'm going to add a big, healthy handful of parsley. I'm reserving a little bit for the top. This is getting excited. It wants to still be part of the party. I'm sorry, sir. I'm turning off my heat under this pasta. Guys, this is dinner. It's ready. Alyssa says my kitchen smells divine. Look at this. Let's go plate this up, shall we? Let me get a little pot holder over here. Come on, everyone. Rogue parsley, everything. It is a party. Holy moly. Okay, I got your comments. Let me know if I'm missing anything. A nice bowl. Here we go. Yes. Guys, this is one of my favorite pasta dishes. Please, when this episode goes live, make sure you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Please share this with your friends. Share it on your Facebook. We get so many views from Facebook. Get as much sauce and butternut squash as you can onto this plate. Guys, look at the color. Look at this. This is sensational. This might be my new favorite pasta. Where is this pasta? Etal Foods. Okay. This is phenomenal. Go get this pasta. This is good. I like this. Go grab it. This did not let me down on an experiment night. God, this is good, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna a little bit more, just a little bit more. Okay. Dress this up. If you want to put some extra cheese, I mean, No one's faulting you there. You know the drill. Grab a fork. How are you doing? Do we mash the squash? Yeah, you want to mash it up a little bit, Ron, in your sauce. Mash it up a little bit so that you get some pieces of butternut squash. It lends sweetness and creaminess to the sauce, but you also have some nice chunks so that you can stab them with a fork and it feels substantial. I have to try this. I have to try this. Especially these new noodles. Oh my God. Here we go. I can't remember the last time I was this excited. Oh, wait. Last week. Okay. Mmm. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Mmm. Oh my gosh. Guys, the creaminess, the sweetness from the butternut squash. Tell me if you've tried it yet. Tell me if you're with me. I need a piece of squash. Guys, thank you so much for cooking with me. This was a lot of fun. I gotta have another bite. Okay. I'm gonna go eat this. Thank you guys. Let me know how your food turned out. Thank you for joining me. I'm Christina. You're here on the main, and this is dinner. Bye everyone.
Can I come in your kitchen, baby, and cook all night long with you?